Hey there. So I felt like talking about something. Girl, I'm talking to my dog. Cut out all that barking. She's real hyper. She's real hyper. Anyway, it's too hot out there for that barking. I'm trying to understand why she's not in the shade, like relaxing. Like it's at the beginning of August. It's probably close to 100 degrees outside, and I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to talk about people are interesting. This Some companies are just going to go under. They're going to hang themselves. And then another company is going to come in place that's going to be better where, um, there's a place, okay, I work for a company as an OT, occupational therapist, about close to 40 minutes away from where I stay. Now, I started working there as a PRN, which means as needed. I don't work full time. I'm not on a full time pay because I'd rather do PRN. I have more control, more flexibility. I don't have to give people's permission if I need to take off, right? So I like PRNs. Um, but, and they pay, the rate is higher, the hourly rate is higher with PRNs as therapy anyway. I don't know about anything else. Um, And so when I started working there, another lady was there, and she was giving, having hiring a therapist starting at top dollar. I wouldn't call it top dollar. It's the same as where people are getting paid in the city where I'm in, because where I work is more out of town. And actually, the city the places that's close to me are paying more an hour, and they complaining because the lady that hired me, she's no longer there anymore, right? And so the people are complaining that I came in at that dollar amount. Like the people who are like the rehab company, they're complaining that I came in at that dollar amount. And they hired a new grad, right? This new grad, I don't know who they expect to keep not giving people money. This new grad came in at the lowest amount that you can that you can pay in OT. And I'm pretty sure he let that slide because he's a new grad, right? I would let it slide too, but this is California. It's not Alabama, right? And I had to move away from Alabama because I had a supervisor that was she didn't like to see people do well. Don't be under people who don't like to see you do well. Like, don't stick it out. I don't believe in sticking it out. When people play with your money, I don't believe in sticking it out because that person does not want to see you do well. If they don't have a reason why they're holding back on your money, they can't find anything you did wrong, but they want to hold back on your money. It's not worth sticking it out. It's too much of a big world out there. And you have a big most high, right? The most high is abundant. So it's like, no need, don't stick nothing out to put up with nobody's bull crap when they don't want to give you what you deserve. So this company, this new grad is going to end up leaving after his probation. He's not going to just stand around to not get paid. Like, no, like nobody's going to tolerate not getting paid. They can't keep anybody. They had a physical therapist assistant who left because they don't want to pay him. And he decided to stay. And everybody's driving like 30 minutes away. So like we don't even get miles. And they don't even want to pay what we pay when we stay locally. When we work locally, we get paid more than what we do when we're driving out of town to these places. And they're not willing to even try to catch up. Like this is a company that's going to lose. Like people are driving from out of town to come to work, putting miles in their car. And you don't even want to pay. You don't even want to compete with companies that are next to them. You're going to constantly have employees coming in and out because they want to make money. It costs more to drive over there Okay, so there's a physical therapy assistant that just left because he said he can stay locally, work at a place that's right next to where he stays, and they pay him more an hour, and it's chill, it's nice, it's laid back. Okay, so why? And he drives a big truck, right? So why put all those miles and have to put $100 worth of gas in your car a week, only for a company that don't want to pay you, don't want to give you miles, and you have to drive far away from your house to get there? And they already realize that they're losing people because nobody want to make that drive. They already realized that. So this person talk about my productivity is consistently low. Now I've been working about 20 years. I try to keep at least 80% because when you work for a company, I thought you were supposed to maintain at least 80%. But as a traveler, you need close to 90%. But you can still have when you're doing evaluations, it's 85. But when you work for a company, I thought it could be 80% or something like that. And so she told me evaluating therapist productivity should be 85. Okay. I was like, well, I'll make sure it's 85% next time. Okay. So I know lately my productivity has been over 85%. I saw a text that I don't even feel like reading. But I'm sure it came from this company. I'm not going to jump the gun because I have not read it. So I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. I don't want to do that because if I find out it's not even what I think it is, then I'm going to have egg on my face. So I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but I'm just going to say I don't feel like being bothered with them. Because now I see they don't want me there anymore. They do not want me there anymore because they probably feel like I'm getting paid too much. They want to be stingy and they want to pay people at the lowest dollar. They're not going to keep anybody not wanting to pay folks what they're supposed to get. They're not going to be able to keep anybody. They already don't cover miles and everybody's driving from out of town and they already don't cover miles. And then they don't even want to compete with the companies that are local where people, instead of making a drive, they can just stay where they are. They're not even willing to compete. They got this new grad in there and gave him the lowest dollar they could ever give him. I mean, you have a coda that gets paid. The coda is a certified occupational therapy assistant. You have codas that's getting paid as much as this therapist, evaluating therapist that went to school he had to get his master's, 5 years. And you have somebody who only had to go to school 2 years is going to make as much as he is. That's not right. I don't know what's wrong with these companies. There's so many other people that's willing to do better. But I say that to say this. It's enough playing games with these people. If I did something wrong, I can understand you doing these type of things if I did something wrong. Now, I asked the Spirit. I said, Spirit, did I do anything wrong? All of a sudden, you come to me about some productivity, and I've been there for 2 years. Ain't nobody ever say nothing to me ever about productivity. And I've been there 2 years. And I know I have not been at least under 78%. I always try to keep it to at least 80, though. 80%. Okay. And she start that barking, and she need to calm down. But anyway, I said to say, I'm not even bothered because it really is time for me to move on. Okay, it's time for me to move on. I've been knowing since late 2023 that it's been time for me to move on, and move on for more freedom. Okay, move on for more freedom. There's something that I already got started that I have in the works. And it was for me to create more freedom for myself and get paid a whole 3 times more money. I have these subconscious blocks where I don't move like I should sometimes. But it's time to release them, right? So I understand some things happen for my own good. But I want to talk about these companies. Or just, it's not just these companies. It's people, it's people like this in general. It's people like this in general. Um, I'm tired of people just being dirty. I'm tired of people being dirty. We can say that's the way it is. Well, yeah, that's the way it is when the Most High is not involved. Like when you constantly leave the Most High out of everything, yeah, that's going to be the way it is. And some people take matters into their own hands and they do their own little spiritual work. Like I say, I'm not trying to play like that, but some people can. That's fine if they want to do that. If they feel like they can mess with somebody like that and still be safe, they can go on ahead. Okay. Me, I'd rather put it in the hands of the Most High. Because I feel like when I put something in the hands of the Most High, I'm either going to be seen as righteous or unrighteous, and no blood on my hands. People that take matters into their own hands, they get blood on their hands. I don't want blood on my hands. I do not want blood on my hands. Okay, but yeah, I'm over people being dirty. I am over people being dirty. People don't know who they are messing with, and it's time that they're going to FAFO. You know what FAFO mean? F around and find out. People are going to FAFO. They're going to FAFO. Okay? I'm not playing with people anymore. And I'm not even upset with this company because I'm almost feeling relieved. I'm about to get my paid time off and it's time for me to move forward. I'm a little tired. I'm tired of making a drive. I'm tired in a way. I'm not even upset. I'm just tired of people. In general, I'm tired of people being sneaky. I'm tired of people being low down. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people. Okay? And granted, it's time for me to move forward to what I've been supposed to be doing, right? But I want them to crumble. I want them to fall. And the reason why is because they need to. But it's not about what I want. Like I said, I'm putting it in the hands of the Most High. But I'm done with wickedness. I'm over wickedness. I'm really over it. You want to get rid of me so you can find somebody in that you can bring in and barely pay, as if they're going to stay somewhere and continue to get paid nothing. So you want to bring another new grad in where you can just go and pay them $50 an hour. Like they're not going to leave in the next 3 months after they finish their probation. Who's going to constantly deal with not being paid money? This new grad is already talking about leaving. This new grad is talking about leaving. Who is going to agree to not being paid any money, especially when they know they're getting way underpaid? Okay. So, yeah, this company is going to crumble. It's going to crumble because the Most High says so. I'm going to go on and probably put in my month or 2 months or whatever before they try to mess around and do anything. It's the best thing. They doing me a favor because it's been time for me to move forward into what I'm supposed to do, and I was just dragging my feet on it, and now they helping me not drag my feet. But be that as it may, I'm a little tired of wicked people. I'm tired of them. Like at this point, they're unproductive because they're unproductive to the energy that's really coming in. When we're talking about feminine energy, we're not talking about somebody being a female. We're talking about a particular type of energy where it's more like compassion. It's more about unity, consciousness. It's more about things like that. People lift each other up. That's more of a divine feminine energy. This last cycle was more of a stoic type of energy. It was more about, what you call it? Well, it was more of ego-based. It was an ego-driven type of culture. It was an ego-driven type of cycle. People are driven by their egos. And this energy coming in is going to be it's going to be different. And there will be a Most High that's going to be in charge. We're not going to leave it up to people's egos to figure out what's right and wrong. But anyway, I just feel like talking about that really quickly. Like, yeah, no more patience for them. No more turning the other cheek. Like it's time to stop turning. And when I say turn the other cheek, I'm talking about just saying, "Oh well, they did this, so let me go on here." Well, yeah, you're gonna move on, but at the same time, it's time for people. It's time for these people. It's time for them to come to an end. It's time to bring them to an end. Their consciousness is no longer welcome where this cycle is going. The new cycle is coming in. That type of consciousness is no longer welcome. So it's not just about this particular company. It's about a lot of people that's like them. It don't even have to be companies. It could be individual people. It could be family members. It can be anybody. I'm just using this as an example. This type of consciousness is no longer welcome in the new cycle. But anyway, that is it, and I will talk later. Hello, hello, hello.